Okay, so when I say absolute value, what's the first thing that pops into your head? For pretty much everyone, it's just make the number positive. And look, you're not wrong, but that's kind of like saying a smartphone is just a thing that makes calls. Today, we're going to look under the hood and find the really powerful visual idea that makes absolute value tick.
Here's the game plan. We'll start by questioning that old definition, see how it creates that famous V-shaped graph, then learn how to take control of that V. After that, we'll use our new visual superpowers to solve problems, and you'll see how it's all tied together by one simple, powerful idea: distance.
All right, first things first, let's really dig into what we think we already know. So let's ask it again. What is absolute value? Really? If it's more than just stripping away a negative sign, then what is it we're actually doing? I mean, those two vertical bars, they're just a symbol. They don't tell us the why.
And here it is. This is the big secret. The absolute value of a number is simply its distance from 0. Just think about a number line for a second. How far is the number 3 from 0? Well, it's 3 steps away. Okay, so how far is -3 from 0? It's also 3 steps away. The distance is the same, and here's the kicker. Distance can't be negative.
Exactly. And hey, this isn't some clever little trick to help you remember. This is the real deal, the fundamental idea. Once you lock in this concept of distance, everything else we're about to talk about just clicks into place. It's the key. Now, this is how mathematicians write down the official rules for calculating that distance. It's called a piecewise function, which sounds complicated, but it's not. All it says is, hey, if a number x is already positive or 0, its distance is, well, it's just itself. But if x is a negative number, we have to flip its sign, we multiply it by -1 to get its positive distance. So the absolute value of -3 becomes -3, which of course is +3. Okay. Now for the really cool part. Let's see what happens when we take that two-part definition and turn it into a picture. This is where the rules on paper become something we can actually see and work with.
You see, that two-part rule we just talked about literally draws a two-part graph. For every positive x value, the graph is just the straight line y equals x. And for every negative x value, the graph is the line y equals -x. You stick those two lines together and what do you get? This perfect, sharp, iconic V shape, with its point sitting right there at the origin.
And seeing this V-shape helps clear up a really common point of confusion. You might be thinking, hey, that looks kind of like a parabola. And you're not totally wrong, but they are fundamentally different. An absolute value graph is made of two perfectly straight lines that meet at a sharp point. A parabola, on the other hand, is a smooth, continuous curve, no sharp corners. So, we have our basic V. But this is where the fun really starts, because we can actually learn how to manipulate it. We can move it around, stretch it out, and even flip it completely upside down. I want you to think of this equation as the control panel for our V shape. Every piece of it, the A, the H, and the K, is like a knob or a slider that lets us move and reshape that V with total precision. Let's start with H, which controls the side-to-side movement. Now this one is the tricky one. It's a little counterintuitive because it does the opposite of what the sign tells you. So if you see x times -2, that actually moves the graph 2 spots to the right, and x plus 2 moves it 2 spots to the left. You just got to remember, it's the opposite. Thankfully, K is your best friend. It's totally straightforward. It handles the up and down shift. A positive K moves the graph up, a negative K moves it down. It does exactly what you'd expect it to do. Easy. And finally, we have A. This one's a multitasker. First, it kind of acts like the slope for the two arms of the V. A bigger A makes the V steeper and skinnier. A smaller A makes it wider. And second, if A is negative, it just flips the whole graph upside down so the V opens downwards. So what's the big payoff for knowing all this? It all comes down to one critical spot, the vertex, the point of the V. The values of H and K from our control panel tell you exactly, and I mean exactly, where the new vertex is located. It's always at the point H, K. Okay, so we know what it is, we know what it looks like, and we know how to move it around. So what's the point? Well, now we can use it to turn confusing algebra problems into simple visual puzzles. This right here is a total game changer. When you see an equation like the absolute value of x plus 2 equals 3, stop thinking about just algebra. Start thinking visually. What you're really being asked is, where does the V-shaped graph of y equals the absolute value of x plus 2 cross paths with the flat horizontal line y equals 3? Now, when you do it the old-school algebra way, It's pretty quick. You know that the stuff inside the bars, the x plus 2, has to have a distance of 3 from 0. That can happen two ways. Either x plus 2 is actually 3, or x plus 2 is negative 3. You solve both of those little equations and you get your two answers, 1 and negative 5.
And boom, the graph shows us why we get two answers. It isn't some arbitrary math rule. It's because our V-shape literally hits that horizontal line in two different spots. Those points where they cross, those are our solutions. The graph proves the algebra.
Inequalities are pretty similar, but they come in two flavors. A less than problem creates what I like to call a sandwich. The solution is all the stuff trapped between 2 points. But a greater than problem breaks the solution into two separate pieces that fly off in opposite directions.
So if you see less than, your job is to find the part of the V that is below the horizontal line. It's always going to be that bottom part of the V, a single connected piece on the number line.
And on the flip side, if you see greater than, you're looking for where the arms of the V are above that line. And that's always going to be the two outer parts of the graph, the bits that shoot up and away from each other forever.
Okay, let's zoom out and bring this all home. What's the one big idea that connects everything we've just seen?
It all comes back to that one single word, distance. That concept is the engine for everything else. It defines what absolute value is. It's the reason we get a V-shape. It's why our control panel works, and it's what allows us to solve problems visually. From start to finish, it's one connected story.
And that leaves us with one final, pretty cool thought. Absolute value is perfect for measuring distance in one dimension, on a simple number line. But what happens when you need to find the distance between 2 points in 2 dimensions, like on a flat map? You probably already know the answer. It's the Pythagorean theorem. And that's no coincidence. Absolute value is just the simplest 1D version of a much, much bigger idea about how we measure distance anywhere in the universe.